Hi, welcome to my channel. I go by Nicky T. If you're new here, then basically I make content around trying to inspire people to pick up photography and videography and really pick it up as a hobby and then use it to build the foundation for your passion project and then eventually hopefully turn that into a business. So all I'm here to do is hopefully inspire you to go out and get that first camera. Really, the reason for that is that it could change your life, and it significantly had an impact on mine. So my whole goal is to try to share that perspective. Hopefully I can convince you to get out there and do something new. Who knows, you might be like me and picked it up 6 years ago and here I am. I think you should get a camera, and how it's consistently added this level of change in my life, and I'm constantly looking forward to the next big thing. And for me, I feel like photography really drives that because it's a constantly changing environment and you're always constantly learning new things. You're learning new skills. You see a cool concept that you want to try, and you also keep expanding, and as you get better, you want to keep doing new things. And what's awesome is that I'm actually in the process of building out a spare bedroom into a studio. So I'm gonna use this as my studio for both YouTube, and I'm gonna use it as a photography creative studio. All right, so you may have noticed that I kind of have some of the room built out already. I started decorating a little bit by picking up this lamp and actually thrifted that. So that was my first experience thrifting. So I'm gonna make a video on the process of trying to go out and thrift items to create a cool creative space, you know? And for me, that's new. That was the first time I've ever been thrifting in my life, so you'll have to stay tuned for that one. But then you can see I got this backdrop here. So I wanted to kind of have like a mobile setup, so that's why I opted to get the backdrop. I think for now it's gonna do, but what I'm probably planning on doing is like painting the whole room and really trying to transform this space into my creative space that I want to just be able to walk in the room and just like hit record, you know, and just be able to get started. And that's not something I've really ever had, is that space completely dedicated to being creative. So I think if you are a creator and you're taking it serious, you should 100% try to think about setting up a space, and just being able to jump in and get started can really help you get over some of those creative hurdles. So something else that I actually want to touch on is like the reason why I'm doing this and making this video is that photography really had such an impact in my life to where it's constantly been pushing me and driving me to do new things and really chase that next like milestone. And I feel like for me and where I'm at in photography, I just kicked off my media business that I'm trying to build, where I want to help other people make better content for their businesses. And really, I wanted a space to where if I wanted to do like product photography or videography, or if I needed a setup to where I could take with me to a client or something like that, you know, I wanted to be able to have everything at my fingertips. And really, I think it depends on like what phase you're at with your photography or videography. But if you get into the point where you're ready to take that next step, then I would say try to create a space that you can set up as like a studio. So it should be pretty awesome because I'm gonna actually try to make it feel very organic and modern, which is what I love. So I'm gonna be putting a bunch of really big plants in here, just decorating the entire room. It's gonna be pretty awesome though, so you're gonna have to stay tuned. So the reason why I think that you should really go out and pick up a camera and fully jump into this hobby, aside from being able to create amazing content or, you know, make prints or something like that, or even from the business aspect, is that it's a constant changing environment and it'll continue to push you and drive you to do new things. And it's made me really come out of my own shell in a way and chase new creative opportunities and get into bigger and better creative ideas, I guess. So it keeps expanding as you keep learning and growing. So for me, creating this space where I can start doing my own like studio work, it's like a next big leap for me. I really think that I would have never taken this step or even starting my own business if I just never picked up a camera. And it's really all just from one day. Some of my friends were shooting and I had never honestly thought about picking up a camera or even cared to, other than my cell phone, you know, and just picked it up and just immediately gravitated towards it, you know. Like I immediately kind of understood composition and what kind of looked good. And starting off, I actually had like a ton of really good photographers around me that taught me a lot instantly. And then of course, having YouTube as a resource, I dove straight in and I learned very quickly and just kind of took off with it, you know. And I think as time, you change as a person, and really it's been like one of the only things that I've done consistently over the past 6 years. You know, think about all the things that you pick up and try, and you're testing out things, you know, and you might figure out like, oh, this isn't for me, that isn't for me. And I really feel like what makes photography, videography different is that it grows with you. Whether it be your skill set that grows, you may start off with just using your phone, and then eventually you level up to like a mirrorless camera, and then that mirrorless camera turns into like a video camera. It just keeps leveling up as you level up. And I think that's the part that I absolutely love about photography, videography in general, is that every time you feel like you're ready to take that next step, there's something there that can help you get there. Then it's reciprocated in the type of work and content that you're doing. You know, some of my friends that I see there, they kind of took the same path, and then they also got into like short films and things like that. So who knows, maybe that could be an option for me too. But it's just really cool. It's like all of these different channels and lanes that you could potentially end up in, and it's all just because you decided to get the camera and hit record. You know, you just gotta get out there, try it. I highly recommend to anyone. Now, if you've been on the fence about getting started because camera gear is really expensive, honestly, just start with your phone. Just use whatever you have. It's more important to learn and master whatever you have at your fingertips at the current time than it is trying to go out and get the latest and greatest gear. When I first started, I think I bought like a Canon T3 Rebel or whatever it was called. It was like one of the Rebel series cameras. I only got it for like a couple $100, and I used that for probably like 3 months, and then I decided to jump in and I got the Sony a7 III, and I just like immediately went full force. But it's because I learned pretty quickly how to use that, and I just consumed so much content around how to grow my photography skill set. I just dove right in, and then I never looked back. And even now today, I mean, I feel like taking that leap and jumping straight in immediately was a huge turning point for me personally. That path isn't necessarily for everyone. Just like use what you have. I've taken some of the most amazing shots on my iPhone, to be honest. And there's a lot of times where if you're into like adventure kind of style content, there's some times where like I'm on the side of a mountain and it's windy and raining, and I've just used my phone because I didn't feel like dragging my camera up there. And I've gotten amazing shots. Nowadays, you can shoot anything on your phone and it looks just as good, to be honest. So just use whatever you have to get started. Just jump in. You know, I can't help but feel like eternally grateful for the gift of embracing creativity, where that could take you in life. You know, it's a unique path. Photography and videography is a common hobby, but I think to really embrace it as a creative pathway where you want to pursue it both for like YouTube or as a business and like really see where it takes you, I think is unique, because everybody's path is a little bit different, and we'll all have these different opportunities that come to us, and we all do it for different reasons. For me, I love photography and videography because it forces me to be incredibly present, and I can look back on those moments where it's a once-in-a-lifetime moment and you captured it through your lens, you know, and you can just relive it over and over and over again, and you can share it with people. and you can capture other people's once in a lifetime moments. And I really think that's what makes it so special. Gotta admit, it's pretty awesome. All right, so if you have any takeaways from this video, it's that you need to get a camera, no matter if it's a phone or a mirrorless camera, and you just need to dive right in. Just get started, start learning. You're gonna love it. I promise you. You never know where it'll take you, and it could quite literally change your life to the point to where you're trying to build out a home studio, starting YouTube, creating a business, meeting people all over the world, traveling all over the world, so you can capture that once in a lifetime bucket shot. Just jump in, get started. I go by Nicky T, and I'm here to inspire people to jump into photography and videography. And if I've inspired you, drop a like on the video. Definitely leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. If you've just dove in and you're just getting started, I want to hear from you. Drop me a sub if you want to be a part of the community I'm trying to build on here. And as always, let's create passion. I'm Nicky T. Peace.